Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my May update for my dog hair on my face, but for my Project 10 uses and my No Pan Left Behind. So I do have both of these projects on one video together, and so I have a very exciting episode. Not episode. I have a very exciting update as Jane comes huffing in here because I have a lot of rollouts on my Project 10 uses and I have some rollouts on my palettes. You guys can see my palette organizer back there is completely empty. That means that we get to fill that thing with palettes this update as the puppy dogs get comfortable. But let me go ahead and get everything set up and we will roll into the update for my Project 10 uses. I will address the major change, and that is that I got my hair cut. So you guys are actually going to be seeing a video that I filmed yesterday on the 1st of June. You guys will see that video, and that was before I had 5 inches of hair cut off of my head. So I just got my hair cut today. I feel so much more light and breezy and cool, and I am just ready to tackle the heat with my shorter hair. But just so that you guys don't, I guess, not that you would freak out, but like next video I'll have long hair again and then we'll be back to regular scheduled videos. But my Project 10 uses, the whole reason that I started this project is because I was hyper fixating on products in my collection through my Project Pan, so I was not getting use on my other products. So I do have certain categories rolled into like a roulette wheel, and I randomly have 10 items in this project. I use them 10 times before I can roll them out. But I do have eyeliners, lip products, highlighters, blushes, and nail polishes. And perfumes. So I do have 6 different categories in my collection in this project. I swear, when we start saying product and project together, all of us will mix those up. But like I said, I have 6 rollouts on my Project 10 uses. So let me take a look at what my graphics were looking like, and we will get into rolling these products out so that we can roll new things in. We will start off with one of my nail polishes, and this is my ILNP, so I Love Nail Polish, and this is in Butterflies. And I've had this in so far for 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is the 5th update that I've had this in, so it's taken me quite a long time to get my 10 uses. And that, so for my nail polishes, each hand counts for a use. So every time that I do a manicure, it does count as 2 uses. So the fact that it has taken me now 5 updates to get 5 manicures with this, my nail polishes were kicking my behind. But this is just a beautiful lavender creme polish, and we can see like we are all the way down to there. I think I was all the way up to the top at the very beginning, so we've used quite a bit of polish. But I am happy to say that I got my additional, so I had 6 uses on this last update. I got my additional 4 uses on it, so I am officially able to roll out Butterflies. And then let's see here, my next one that I had in, this one is also exciting for me to roll out because it's been in for 4 updates. So this will be the 5th update that this has been in. But this is my NYX Epic Wear liner in Chartreuse. It is basically the color of the packaging is the color of this pencil. And so I had 6 uses on it last time. I was able to get my additional 4 uses on Chartreuse. So this one is finally rolling out. Let's see what else we have in here. We had Lily. So we have another I Love Nail polish here. This is in Lily. It's kind of this storm gray lavender with a silver sparkle running through it. It is gorgeous, and this is actually, I had to take off my nail polish because it started chipping, but this was the polish that I had on like my accent fingers in the video that you'll see on the first. I was wearing my last uses of Lily. And so I had 6 uses last update. Now I have my 10 uses. So Lily is also rolling out. And hopefully Editing Me is putting up all of my graphics and stuff like that. This project is very graphic heavy. So hopefully I am taking all of my pictures and all of my weights. But the next item that we get to roll out is a shadow stick from ColourPop, and this is the Fury of the Dragon. So this is from the Winx collection, Winx collab, and it is a beautiful duochrome. And I see pink to green to like purple in this with like blue also, but I forget, what does it show up on camera for you guys? It just shows up with a green flash on camera, but I see pink to purple to green to blue. So it is a very beautiful, shifty eye crayon. And so I've had this in for 2 updates, so this will be our 3rd update. I had 3 uses on it last time. I was able to get my 10th use today. I do have this tapped over my look, and so we are rolling out the Winx Fury of the Dragon shadow stick. Very excited to have that one out. Something that is staying in, and it's surprising that it's staying in because I thought that I would have all my uses on it, but this is one of the NYX Epic Wear liners, and this is in Periwinkle Pop. So it's just a periwinkle shade, and I guess I can give you some swatches of some stuff that's staying in. So it's just a beautiful light purple shimmer periwinkle. And let me look in my book because last update I had 5 uses on it. Now I have 7. So I used it 2 additional times in May, but I still have 3 more uses on it. So hopefully we can roll in some like purple adjacent palettes so that I can get some more use on that, but that one will stay in, and I need to do 3 more uses on that liner. What is our next item that is staying in or rolling out? Let me look at this one. So this one is going to be staying in, and that is my ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in Get Paid. It is just a coppery rose gold, and I have to be careful with it because it's already broken inside the component, so I can't like wind it up because there's a little piece that is like hanging on at the edge there, but this is the Get Paid shade right there. I actually do have this in my look as well. I did just roll this eyeliner in last update, and I already have 8 uses on it. So we only have 2 more uses to go on Get Paid, so this will definitely be a rollout for next update, but I don't want to roll it out yet like preemptively just because I only have the 8 uses on it, and I can't guarantee that I'll get those 2 uses on it anyway. I did roll in one of my blushes in my blush palette here, and I rolled in Makeup Geek Desire. So this very, very pigmented, like burgundy red down here. So this shade here, I needed to use it 10 times. And like I said, I rolled it in last update, and I have used it 2 times so far. So we still have quite a bit to go, but I don't mind wearing that more pigmented cheek in the summertime. I've actually really enjoyed the times that I have used the Desire shade. I basically use like a stippling brush or like a dual fiber brush and use it that way, and it has worked out perfectly. And then another blush that is staying in is my Clinique Heather Pop Cheek Pop blush, and this thing is getting so much use and so much wear on it. Look at that. The flower imprint is almost all the way gone off of this. And this is actually the blush that I have on my cheeks today. And this just rolled in last update, and I already have 5 uses because it is so easy to use this shade. Anytime that I have a cool toned look, it is so easy to use this shade. Like, it is just, it don't, like I said, it almost blends into the shade of my fingertips, but it is that beautiful, cool toned purple, pink. I guess you would call that a mauve shade. But there it is blended out. So it is just a beautifully soft shade. So like I said, I need 5 more uses on Heather Pop. And then last update, I think this is no, 2 more things. So this is the second to last thing that I rolled in, but both of these products are rolling out. I rolled in another I Love Nail Polish last update, and that's in Pitter Patter. And I told you guys that I did not feel that I would have a hard time with this polish because I love the formula. It's kind of one of their like jelly formulas, so it has a translucent or like milky type of base to it, which makes it very forgiving and very beautiful. So it has these like flakies in it that will catch the light, and it is absolutely a beautiful shade, and you can see how much use I got on this nail polish. So Pitter Patter is rolling out. I got my 10 uses on it, and I am actually, like, I want to paint my nails again this afternoon, and I'm thinking about using some of my Star Wars polishes, but I'm just curious if I will roll any nail polishes in for this update. And then the last thing that we are rolling out, so I did roll in my Romand, what is this? The Glasting Melting Balm in Kaya Fig, and my graphic is wrong because I didn't put Kaya, I put Faya Fig, but it's Kaya Fig with a K. And I had told you guys that I had dug all of this product out of the component, and I had mixed it in and melted it with some of my Burt's Bees bombs. This one's done. I had to pull this out of my empties bucket, so this one, like, I cannot roll it up anymore. It is completely done. So I did get my 10 uses, but I also used up that whole thing that I had mixed in there, and I'm now on to this one. And so as far as Kaya Fig, that is all I have left of that product mixed with my Burt's Bees balm. So I will definitely have that as a product empty very, very soon, but excited to have that rolled out. So we have 3 things staying in, and actually 4 things. So I might have thought that I was rolling out Get Paid, but I'm not. No, because if we have 4 staying in, then that means we have 6 that we get to pull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we do get to pull 6. So let me I'm going to take my basket of goodies and I'm going to put it behind me so that I have room to write. And we're going to roll in 6 more products that we have to do 10 times. So I don't know if I ever added my Mooncat Star Wars polishes to this wheel, but I have just been reaching for those myself from time to time. But I have my wheel up. Hopefully I have put it up on the screen somewhere, and we're going to roll in 6 new items. So let's cross our fingers for some good items, but let's see. Let me actually turn down, let me see how. Okay, the volume isn't up too high. This one is brand new, the Glowing Lip in Girl Please. Actually, I'm going to skip this one because I just rolled this lip product into my deck of panning for 40 uses. So I'm not going to tack another 10 onto that one. So I'm going to consider this one as being used because of that 40 use goal. So I am okay with that one coming off of my wheel. So let's roll again. And actually, this is the lipstick that I have on today. So the Sephora Collection lipstick in Magnetic Wave. It is, I'll pull all these products out and show them to you, but it is a beautiful, cool toned lipstick. All right, so that's product number 1. Let's see what product number 2 is going to be. The Clinique Quick Liner in Intense Black. It's just a black eyeliner, so that one will be easy, and I can use that to tight line, so we will get 10 uses on that. All right, next product is going to be the Hourglass Ambient Ghost Palette. Okay, so we have a quad of blushes. All right, 3 more products. Let's see what we get. Victor and Rolf. So Ruby Orchid is in my deck of panning with the goal to finish it. So I'm not going to roll it into this, especially because I'm just using it as a room spray. So I feel like that would be a wasted product in this project. So we can re-roll and get that one off the wheel. NARS Orgasm Mini. And that's actually in the same blush palette as Makeup Geek Desire, so that'll be very easy for me to reach for both of them. We still have 2 more that we're picking. It is a big update this time. So Hollow Taco Violet Nightmares. Okay, that is a deep purple that I'm actually okay with rolling that in right now. I think that that one will actually go really well with some of my Star Wars polishes that I want to use, so I don't mind doing a more darker and like vampy nail look right now, but this is our last roll for our Project 10 uses. The Yum Bougie Marshmallow Travel. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and gather all these items and show them to you, and then we can look at my palettes. Alright guys, so I have my 6 new products, and the first one is the Sephora lipstick in Magnetic Wave, and this is one of their new, is this Shine lipstick? Yes, so this is one of their Shine ones right here. I'll give it a little swatchy swatch on my hand. So that is our shade. It is an absolutely beautiful mauvey rosy shade, and I love it. Like I said, I have that on my lips, and it's topped with my Bobbi Brown crushed oil infused gloss. I do feel like I've gotten some products in the past few months that I have not added to my list yet, so I think that I will, you know, after I do this video and do all of my editing, I will add the rest of my new products to my list as well. But the next item that we rolled in is going to just be my Clinique Quick Liner in black. It is just a black eyeliner, and if I paused really weirdly, it is because my husband was standing outside my window making gestures at me. He is outside in the garage working out. So just a black liner. I will be able to do tight line with this. It will be very easy for me to get my uses on that one. Then we have very reflective packaging, but this is the Hourglass Ghost Ambient Blush Palette. So it's just a quad of blushes. I love kind of mixing these two and these two. I love mixing these ones across and these ones across. So it's worn down the most in the center because I just kind of like swirl everything together. But my goal is to use this palette 10 times as a whole. Since I do have this as like one product in my collection, I don't count this as 4 products. But we will use my Ghost Ambient Blush Palette 10 times. And somebody was talking about, I don't know if it was during one of, was it one of Angie's new makeup releases, but she was talking about how Hourglass is coming out with new ambient blush palettes, like the quads, and she was like, how much was this one, like the quads back in the day? And I forgot to end up looking. So I got this for $58. Now, I don't know if I paid full price for this. I try not to pay full price for anything, but I know back in 2019 when I bought this palette, it was $58. And I think that she said that they're close to $80 now for a quad. So you guys can figure out if that is worth it to you. But the other product that we rolled in, my other blush that I'm going to be looking at, is my NARS Orgasm. So this was just a mini blush that I ended up repressing into a bigger pan just so it would fit into my blush palette. So we have 10 uses on Orgasm, and we still have 8 more uses on Desire, but I'm happy that they're coming out of the same palette together. And then we have my nail polish. I need to shake it up because some of the pigment has separated up top, but this is one of the Holo Tacos, and this is one of the, like, it kind of reminds me of a jelly formula because it does have a, like, thinner base to it with those sparkles running through. So it's just this dark purple with almost like, yeah, with a holographic sparkle running through it. So this will be beautiful mixed with some of my Star Wars polishes. And then same thing with nail polish. Each hand or each foot counts as one use. So we will have 5 manicures or 5 pedicures or a combination of the two. And then the last thing is the Kayali Yum Bougie Marshmallow, and this is the number 87, and I actually just wore this today. So this is a just mini, obviously a travel size. I did put a mark on there where we're starting, and I will have my graphics and everything popping up. So I will do 10 uses. Now for me, 10 uses is not 10 sprays. It's 10 applications. Usually with the Kayali mini ones, I do about 2 to 3 sprays per application. So we will end up having, 20 to 30 sprays out of the bottle for my 10 uses, but that will not be hard for me to do because I do love that scent. But those are my new items that are rolling in. Let me collect all of these, put them in the basket with their friends, and then we will look at my No Pan Left Behind. All right, so we have 2 rollouts, but I will see how many roll-ins we're going to do because I want to fill my little tray back there. So the 2 rollouts, well, we had 3 palettes that rolled over from the prior update. We rolled in 2 new palettes last update. So let's look at my 2 rollouts, and they are both Natasha Denona palettes. We had a bunch of them rolled in last update, but the first one, very reflective packaging, so I will rub it on my shirt and get it kind of cleaned up. But this is the Natasha Denona Golden palette, and this is the inside of this one, and this one was very easy for me to get the rest of these shadows used. And oh, while I just roll into it, what's a No Pan Left Behind? I am using every single shadow in my collection, so I cannot consider a palette complete unless I use every single shadow in a palette. I don't get to skip over shadows except for the glitters in the Tati Volume 1, and I have a dog hair that I can feel. But the glitters in the Tati Volume 1, I have decided not to use those, so those are the only shades that I skip over. Otherwise, I use every single shade in a palette. So I was able to touch every single shade in the Golden palette. Was not hard to do because this is a very neutral brown and gold palette, so that was very easy for me to do. And the other palette that we're able to roll out, again, is a very neutral palette, but this is the I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona, and this is our color story inside. I know last update I rolled in the Urban Decay Naked Heat, and I held the Naked Heat up next to this, and you can see how much more actual warm toned the Naked Heat is compared to this palette. But I still love this palette. It's still beautiful. It's gorgeous. I loved all the looks that I got out of this, which make sure to stick around because at the end, I do go through all of the eyeshadow looks that I have done with these palettes and other palettes in my collection. I show you guys every single eyeshadow look that I have done in the past month. So those are our 2 palettes that are rolling out, so Golden and I Need a Warm. I just made some noise down by my microphone, and now we're going to look at, this palette has been in for a couple updates, and it's still in. Let me actually open my panning journal here, and I have my little graph paper with my palettes on here. So let me turn over here because that's where this palette is. And that is the ColourPop So Jaded palette. I do have it in the Z palette because I deconstructed it and kept the shades that I like. So I actually do have this palette along with like 2 other palettes on my eyes today. So I did not get this entire look from this palette here. But I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 5 more shades to use on this palette. I feel like I was just here doing this video talking about this palette. Where did the month go? How did this month go so fast? I have no idea. But I do have 5 more shades to use on this palette. I have these 2 greens right here. I have the shimmer shade right here in the middle, which should be very easy to do. And then I have these 2 dark purples. So we do have a few different looks because I don't think I could pull off a dark green and dark purple look together. That is not my bag. But we do have 5 more shades to use on the So Jaded. Now the 2 palettes that I rolled in last time, let me go over to the other page. And so we did roll in the Natasha Denona Pastel palette, which is perfect for springtime and May rolling into summer. So this is what we look like on the inside. I do have quite a few shades done on this one. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 shades on this one to do as well. If I turn it this way, I have the multi-chrome up here to do, and then limoncello, and then I have the red, the orange, and the green. So we will have to see what I can come up with. Definitely a yellowy green look, and then maybe I'll just have to use this red on its own. But I usually like don't know what to do with this red, but then anytime that I use it, I think it's beautiful. Because I mean, look how like it has some rich, deep pigment to it. Maybe I can use that red with the other warm palette that I have. But like I said, we have 5 more shades in here. I could probably knock that out in another 2 or 3 looks. So we will see what I can get done with this palette. And then the last palette, like I mentioned, is the Urban Decay Naked Heat. And like I said, I could use that red with this palette as well. And so this is our color story. I still have the brush in there. I swear the dog hair today is just sticking to me. But let me turn my page so I can see. I have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've used 6 shades and I have 6 left to do. So I still have half of the palette to use. A lot of the dark shades over here, so I wonder if I could build like a dark look and then pop this red over top. I might try to give that a go and see how that turns out, but these still perform beautifully. The shimmers in here are still amazing. So this is like, we have not seen an actual like palette, an exciting palette from Urban Decay in a long time. And I wonder if they're going to just stick with like the moon dust and ride that train as long as possible. But I love this. This, between Naked Heat and Naked Honey, those were the best palettes that Urban Decay has done in a very long time. So bring back that innovation. But I know the makeup atmosphere is changing. So let me see. Let me reach back and get it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 spots on my tray. And I have 3 palettes that I'm working on. So that means we can draw in 4 palettes. That is quite exciting. So let me pull up my wheel and do my screen recording, and we will draw in 4 palettes. Alrighty, I have all of my palettes in here. I will say I did make a rule for myself that if a palette is like seasonally themed, I will wait and roll that palette in during that season. So if it is Halloween based, Christmas based, fall based, I will roll those palettes in those seasons. But that shouldn't like hinder me because I still have a lot of palettes that are more not seasonally attached. I have plenty to do. So let me go ahead. I have 4 palettes. I have my marker. Let's go ahead and look at what we're going to roll in. So palette number 1 is going to be Natasha Denona Glam. So we're going with the Cool Tone Natasha Denona. Alrighty. Palette number 2. Mini Zendo. Let me grab my mini palette real quick because I need to mark on my paper which one is Mini Zendo. Because if you're new here, I depotted all of my Natasha Denona minis. So none of them are in their actual packaging. So Zendo is our first one right here, this row right here. So we will do that one. I love the Mini Zendo, and so let me put a mark for that one. All right, palette number 3 that we're going to do. Mini Biba, so 2 out of the minis. And Mini Biba is the one on the opposite side, which is this one, but 2 warm-toned palettes. So those will go really, really well together. But we will have Mini Biba and then 1 more palette. So the Merry Christmas palette, that's Christmas themed, so we're going to roll again. Night Flower. Oh, so we have a nice deep purple look. Okay, do I want to roll in more? Because 2 of my palettes are actually in 1 palette. So I want to fill up my little holder, but 2 palettes that I picked were from the same one. Hell, we're going to do it. I'm going to live dangerously. I might not have a bunch of things rolling out next month, but I will have variety. So let me pick 1 more palette so I can fill up my little tray. Mini Rose. Okay, so again, we're back into the minis, which it makes sense. So Mini Rose is the one that is over here, which again, this makes sense that I am getting a bunch of these because I have, what, 8 minis in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 palettes in one. So I think the universe is trying to tell me that I don't need to pick any more palettes. So I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to grab my little tray. I'm going to grab my palettes. I'm going to fill it up, and I'm going to show you what we're looking like. All right, so I made a little bit of an executive decision, and let me try doing this without knocking anything over. But this is what my little holder is looking like. And in the back, we have my Natasha Denona mini palette, and we will have, ooh, how can I hold this? We will have Mini Zendo, Mini Rose, and Mini Biba. So Mini Zendo, Mini Rose, Mini Biba. We will have those 3 rolled in. And I think I've already done Mini My Dream. So the other ones are still up for grabs as well. But we have 3 of my minis. So that actually kind of equates to a regular 15 pan palette. Now, the executive decision that I made is to roll in my purple single palette. So this is just a Z palette, and this is my beautiful purple palette in here. Now, the bottom row is all of my ColourPop It's My Pleasure, which was my Pan That palette for last year. So I have pan in all of my mattes, and then I have my shimmers over here. The rest of these are ColourPop, Divina, Terra Moon. Yep, because that's Terra Moon. This one is, and then this one's Give Me Glow. So yeah, I have Divina, Terra Moon, Give Me Glow, and ColourPop in here. So that is what makes up this beautiful purple palette, but I want to get some nice purple looks going, especially because I rolled in the Night Flower palette. And also I have the purples that I need to use from my So Jaded. So having these purples down here to do with that purple palette, these will mix very, very nicely. So we have the So Jaded to do. I have the rest of my shades in my Pastel palette to get done. Then this update, we rolled in the Natasha Denona Glam. I'm back to squeaking again. I fixed it, but we are back to squeaking. But this is just a nice, neutral, cool-toned palette. I know like this was the cool tone palette when it came out, but I think that we've realized that this is quite neutral apart from like some of the stuff going on here, but still a very beautiful palette. Let me have it creak closed. And then, like I said, we had the Night Flower palette, which, come on, beautiful. But these purples will go really beautifully with my single purple palette. So we are going to be seeing a lot of purple looks coming up. And then lastly in here, I do have my Urban Decay Naked Heat. So we'll have some hot and fiery shades. I don't like looking at my side profile because, bless it, I say this with all of the grains of salt, all of them. But like, I was like, I wish somehow that I had a deviated septum so that my insurance would pay for a nose job. But I guess I was not blessed with a deviated septum, even though I know people with deviated septums, like the fact that y'all can't breathe, like I get it. So I say this with all of the tongue in cheek. I say this with all of the grains of salt. But if I could have my insurance pay for a nose job, I definitely would. But those are the palettes that we're going to use. Let me move that out of the way. And then I will go ahead and I'll pull up my phone and we will go over the looks that I did. I need to start recording with my blinds closed because my husband sure loves to be distracting. All right, I don't know where I left off last time, so I'm going to start with this picture here. And, well, this picture was taken after I have my roulette wheels from last time, so I'm guessing this is just a look that I did after I posted the last video. But this is a look from the I Need a Warm. Again, a very neutral look with some golds. And then I did another look with I Need a Warm. I will say with being back in the office, I've not done a whole bunch of like really flashy looks, and it's because you just don't know who from leadership is just going to pop in that day, so that's always fun, and who's going to just walk into your office without knocking. That's always fun too. So I have not been doing a whole lot of colorful looks, but I will see what I can get away with some purples coming up. But we did a look with I Need a Warm, did a look with Golden. A lot of those looks will all look the same because guess what? They're a lot of the same colors. I did a look with my singles palette that was in my deck of panning and I Need a Warm. I used the duochrome in I Need a Warm in this look, so you do see a little bit of that shift on my lids. Then I did another softer look with my palette that was in my deck of panning. And then let's see here. I did a look with the Vamp palette. I must have been filming this day. Yes, I think I was filming this day because otherwise I probably would not have done a look like that going into the office. And then a look with the Golden palette. Again, a gold look as we can expect. I did this beautiful periwinkle look with the Wildflower palette and with the Pastel palette. Very beautiful. And then another look with my singles palette. Let's see here. Oh, and then I have a picture of the kitten that my husband rescued. So, you know, just going through the camera roll. Another look with the Golden palette. It looks gold because guess what? That's all you're getting from that palette. I did a greeny blue look with the Wildflower and the Pastel. I believe I did wear this during one of my videos because this look is from the 12th, which means that this look might have been the one for my buys and buys. But I then did a goldy look with the So Jaded palette. It is beautiful. It still performs wonderfully. Like, that was the great ColourPop formula that we had from before. And then I did a warm look with the Naked Heat. Absolutely beautiful. A goldy look with the single palette. Then I used, this is my favorite shade in So Jaded. And it is was it Citrine? This shade right here. I love that shade. So if I'm fitting me in the frame while I do have my side-by-sides, that is that beautiful greeny gold that's on my lid. Then I did a pinky cotton candy look. I also filmed in this look, but this is from the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. It is absolutely beautiful. And then I did another pinky look with the singles palette, which the singles palette that is in my deck of panning, a spoiler for next month, I used the last shade in that palette today. So that means that I'm going to get to be able to draw another card into deck of panning next month, which is super, super exciting. And then I do have another warm look with the Naked Heat. Again, that one, the mattes still perform so, so well in that palette. It is just gorgeous. I did a cool toned look with my singles palette, and then I did a greeny look with the singles palette because I still had some of the Sydney Grace greens to use in that one. So those greens are from the like military collection, so like the cadet and the general and stuff like that. So those shades that are in that green category, that's from Sydney Grace. Then I have the look from today, which like I said is from, I had the one shade to use from my singles palette. I had one shade to use from the Vamp palette from Bella Beauté Bar, and then I used a couple shades from So Jaded to get this look today. So if you see that red kind of like shift on the outside of my eyes, that is that blood red shimmer from the Vamp palette. That is the last shade that I had to use, and I was like, I don't know how I will be able to wear a shifty red shade to work, so I decided to do it for today's video. But that is all of the looks, and I am looking at my little stack of palettes here, and I am very excited about like wearing some cool tones, wearing some purples. Again, like I still have half of this palette to do, so that will still work out well. I will have to pick, I'll probably wear the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I have to do a presentation in front of the leadership for our area for work. My boss asked me to be one of the people to speak out about our concerns about returning to the office. So I have been chosen to do that. So I will have a neutral, pretty look on that day. Because like I said, the people that are leaps and bounds and grades above me will be in that meeting, and I will be on camera. So we'll be going with a more natural look that day. But otherwise, I am really excited about these palettes. I'm excited about getting some of these sparkles on my eyes. So that makes me very, very happy. And it makes me happy that I'm getting through my palettes. Now, let me take a look. I've already checked off Zendo, Retro Glam, Golden, I Need a Warm, and Bloom. I have Mini My Dream. I've used Lethal Wildflower, I've used the Cosmic Beauty Undergrowth, I've used the Bella Beauté Bar Vamp palette, I've used the Pat McGrath Sith Seduction palette, the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde, my Sydney Grace Makeup Geek and ColourPop single palette, that was in my deck of panning, that one's done. My Viseart Paris and Rose Edits, I've used my Viseart Nuance palette, I've used all of my Too Faced Peachy Mattes. Take a breath, Erin. You're allowed to breathe. I used my ColourPop Give It To Me Straight and my ColourPop Sweet As Can Be. So I have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've used 17 palettes, but I feel like we're kind of like already at the middle of the year. Like, we still have June to go, and then we will be past the center of the year. But I have 17 palettes done. Ooh, I might have to kick it up a notch because I still have a lot to go. But I have 17 palettes done, but I have 1, 2, 3 more that will be very close. And then I have 3 out of this palette, and then 1, 2, 3 full palettes. So I have 6 plus 3, so I have 9 technical palettes sitting in this bucket here. So still, that makes me feel good that if I clear out this entire bucket, that is 9 more palettes that are checked off my list, and that I am touching the shadows, I am checking in on the shadows to make sure they still work and that I still like them. So I'm very satisfied with that. But I am going to go. I have a lot of pictures to take, I have a lot of editing to do, and I have to get this video up for you guys tomorrow. So I am going to be doing some work throughout the evening to get this done. But I love this project. I love that I've been able to touch my things. I love that I've been able to use my palettes and use my other products and be accountable to myself. I know that a lot of people are doing this sort of project, and I, by far, did not invent this. It is not my idea. The Project 10 Uses has been going around for a long time. The concept of a no pan left behind has been going around for a long time. So I'm not the creator of this, but I know that a lot of people have started to do this type of project after seeing the way that I've structured mine. So that is what I have to say about that as the puppies start scurrying around. But I'm going to go and get all my stuff done, but I'm going to encourage you guys to do all of the YouTube things. I'm going to encourage you to hit a thumbs up on this video. Let me know that you guys are enjoying my content. If you're new or lurking, if you've just found me and I seem interesting, or you find my voice relaxing like a lot of you guys do, which again, I still think is crazy, but if I seem like somebody that you want to see on your feed, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free for you, but of course it does help me out a whole lot. Of course, leave me your comments down below. Let me know how you guys are doing. Are you guys doing a similar project? What palettes have you recently no pan left behind? Kind of let me know what you guys are doing with your eyeshadows, because I have not been excited about new eyeshadows in quite some time, which is good and bad, maybe, but let me know how you guys are doing. I love our conversations down in the comment section. But otherwise, I hope that all of you guys have a beautiful day, and I'm going to catch you in my next one with longer hair. But remember, we're going a little bit back in time, but that's okay. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.